Hello, General. This is Bob Olier. I'm here on the planet. I got your message, but I don't see anyone anywhere. I'm not sure if you're in the west part of the salt or the east part of the salt or the north salt or the south salt. The whole planet is one big salt, so I'm a little lost. If you could give me a call back. Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and motion controller technician Alex McBride's the Star Wars movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun.
And today we're talking about minute 150 of Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
That's nuts.
150. It's quite a bit of movie here.
Quite a bit to see.
150 starts with a listing for trainee dressing props.
Mm-hmm.
Trainee dressing props. And then at the end there, one of the credits is for the sketch artist. Somebody named Nathan Hamill. We have to look up who that is.
He's credited as sketch artist?
Yeah, he was a sketch artist on this film.
Huh.
He did sketches for it.
I wish I had known that. I would have asked him more questions about that. Yeah, I wonder what that would entail.
Sketching, I guess. I don't know. Well, also, I think it's in this minute. We also see the credit for assistant, I think PR and / assistant to Mr. Hamill, that being Mark Hamill, is his daughter Chelsea Hamill, who was also in that same scene that we talked to Nathan about.
That's right.
It's his sister Chelsea. So we got Hamill's aplenty. You know what else we got? We got pizza plenty. I teased it. We got Pete's all over the place. Do you have anything you want to bring up before or I'll start with Pete's. You throw in some tidbits whenever you choose.
Please go ahead and start with Pete's, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
Well, one that we speaking of former guests of the show, somebody that we probably should have called for this one. Maybe we'll do a follow-up. But props modelers. We got Pete Fielding. He was on for last season for Rogue One. Made some chairs.
That's right.
And we should have called him for this one, but like I said, we'll do a follow-up, perhaps.
One thing that is never, for some reason we never seem to remember, is that each season goes by so fast.
Yeah.
When you're at the beginning, we're like, oh my gosh, like how are we gonna fill this up? And then the next thing you know, we're like, whoa, it's like life itself.
I know. Before you know it.
Yeah. So apologies, we did not get Pete Fielding back on.
Right. We'll talk to him in the future.
Yeah.
There's also an animatronic designer named Pete Hawkins.
Animatronic designer sounds like a cool job.
It does. You make little robot appendages and what have you.
I guess it's closer to what I always think of as the, I guess being the age we are, the true making of Star Wars stuff always involves like hands-on like puppets and
right
things like that. So it seems more, I don't know, satisfying than, and as someone who works digitally myself, it's just exactly the same thing. Like it's just not as satisfying to see something created digitally compared to hands-on. Anyway,
well,
yeah. So thanks for doing that, animatronic engineer guy, Pete.
Well, then we've got SFX. Speaking of which, I think these are all. I think SFX is usually referring to kind of practical on-camera effects, and VFX is visual effects, which are often post after the fact. SFX technician Peter Britton and SFX engineer Peter Windle.
Windle and Britton.
Mm-hmm. And this goes to assistants to Ms. Kennedy. Assistants to Ms. Kennedy. So I know you got your Nixon shirt on, but I'm going to talk about Kennedy for a second. The Kathleen
See,
Kennedy.
that's someone who I could argue should not be included in the credits of the film.
Kathleen Kennedy's assistants. They probably
Yeah.
did more than some of the other people. I don't know. Depending. Yes.
But it's
Yeah.
like their job is to be Kathleen Kennedy's assistant. She's like the head of Lucasfilm. She's not involved
Right.
in the.
Yeah. I can see that argument. Also, the trainees, you're getting trained. You're learning the trade. You don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need a credit there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you shouldn't. All your arts and skills and they're all valuable, and they all went into making the movie. But we got to draw a line somewhere.
Don't be so proud of this technological terror you helped create.
Well, anyway, assistants to Ms. Kennedy, Stephanie Peters. That's another one. Borderline. I'll let her in.
I think Peters should count for more.
And then remember, maybe it was a minute or two ago. Earlier, I was talking about how it seems according to my research, that the Peters are more of the, what did I say, the physical trades?
Yeah, the physical trades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Earthy.
And so there's a string of them coming up here. We got assistant. We did that one. Carpenters.
Carpenters. Now there's
Peter
a job
Duffy.
for a Pete.
Peter Duffy and a Peter Prescott. Two Petes in the carpentry division. Now, I don't think it's the same guy. I worked behind the scenes, doing tech, doing the building of sets and what have you in high school for the high school plays with a guy named Peter Duffy. So
I feel like that must be a very common name.
I would think
I
so.
knew a kid named Peter Duffy also.
Did he build sets?
I don't think so. He was more involved in the he would do like flats, you know what I mean, like the backgrounds. Not actual
that's what
sets,
we were doing.
but no, totally different guy.
All right,
totally different guy. This guy was more of a horse master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well then, after they build that, you know what they need? They need painters. And who was one of the painters? Peter O'Donnell.
Paint Pot Pete. That's what they called him.
And then once those things are here's the epitome right here.
The Pete epitome.
Once the things are carpentered and painted, laborers. We just got plain old laborers. One of them, Peter Kane, laborer.
Undifferentiated laborer.
Yeah, he just did some work.
He's a utility guy. He's good for everything.
And then plasterers. Peter Mackey.
Now
plasterer.
you're talking about that's a Pete job.
Plasterer. Plastering Pete.
Plaster Pete.
Yeah. I love building stuff. I can't. Plastering is hard for me. Like anything where it's like there's not like a one-to-one representation of your work. Like I don't know, like when you have to do like multiple coats of something or like sanding something off where it's hard to tell what you're doing. Like if there's no visual confirmation of the work that you're doing immediately.
Yeah.
If it's like, oh, after I buffed this for 20 minutes, it started to be a different I can't stand that stuff. I hate that stuff.
Huh.
Or like, oh, here's infinite things that you have to do. You know what I mean? It's like, I like having like, okay, here's 20 nails that I have to hammer in. Bang, 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 bang. Like.
You don't like being given an infinite list of things to do.
No.
Yeah, I could see that. You want to work in like a factory where it was just a never, like Laverne and Shirley, where it's just a never ending. You're just putting a bottle cap, or is that just part of in that situation? You would know that it was just. I would not find that satisfying.
Well, that's a different thing. That just kind of doing the same thing as it all goes by, I can deal with. But if it's like, all right, if it's your job to, I don't know, because that like each one that you do, there's a thing there. There's like, okay, right, I bottled it, and then you just do. That's like a time-based thing. So just keep bottling until the thing stops.
Yeah.
Or the whistle blows. But if it's just kind of like, bottle this, and there's no.
Yeah. So Pete the Plasterer.
Mm-hmm.
Any other Pete's of note?
Those are all my Pete's for today.
Okay.
Here are the Pete's I know. What do you got?
Well, so here's some more random trivia I scoured up. We all know everyone is well versed on Mark Hamill at one point stating that he seemed to be somewhat dissatisfied with The Last Jedi because Luke wasn't going to go in the direction that he particularly wanted to. And since then, Hamill has recanted this feeling and saying that he regrets that he took his he's not saying that he He wish he hadn't made a public thing about it, because for him it was just like he was coming into this, and then when he got the script, he really had to change gears, and you can understand how that could
Sure.
get a curveball or whatever. But so there you go. And casting change. At one point, I don't remember us mentioning this. Did we talk about Hakeem Phoenix being DJ?
Maybe.
Anyway, the fact that we're not really sure. I think
so,
that would have been.
I think that's what I talked about him being Leaf. He was Leaf, right?
Who's Leaf?
Leaf Phoenix. Because Joaquin is Leaf.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they all had nature names,
Got it. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know what his nature name was.
I think he was Leaf.
But he was in The Master, which I know you're huge fan of. But also someone prone to making some kind of curious acting choices in terms of his commitment to the part and everything. So I don't know. I don't feel like it would have made a substantial difference.
Yeah, tough to tell. I don't know. I don't love him in a lot of things, but sometimes he's good.
Yeah. I forget. Did you ever see Joker?
No.
Noker.
It's funny. My I don't know. My father-in-law, who is a big fan of movies, likes a lot of movies and has good taste for the most part. Completely kind of oblivious to the internet opinions about things when it comes to stuff like that, was just like, hey, did you see this Joker? It's really good. And I was like, huh.
Wow.
Like, because I know a lot of the people whose opinions I trust didn't like it, but they're also kind of predisposed perhaps not to like it.
Right. Interesting.
So I don't know. That was the one thing that made me like, I don't know. Maybe I should check it out.
I think it's a well done film.
Yeah.
But again, I guess it's very hard to separate it from like seeing it from a foreign culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I guess my last note will be that the fake title they would use. I don't remember us bringing this up before.
Oh yeah, we did, right?
Did we? Space Bear?
Yeah, because that's how I brought up Bears in Space.
Okay, you're right.
The theatrical off Broadway performance.
Well, here's something I thought. Again, last chance we get to do this. An invaluable resource, of course, has been the Star Wars Minute, the visual dictionary, which very good, especially when you're like, you can't Google image search, rebel officer on Radis Bridge, you know what I mean? Because it's two. You go through the book, it's more or less in chronological order, and it's easier to find sometimes characters and stuff that way. But after looking through this book this past year, I've noticed there's some things we never quite got that are in the visual dictionary that I don't remember ever coming up in the show. So
things that we didn't talk about on the show, or things that are in the visual dictionary that you don't think we saw in the movie.
Yeah, in some cases, both. If we didn't see them in the movie, it's unlikely. Anyway. So, for instance, we get on page 16 here, we get a close up of Princess Leia's jewelry, her Oro weave bracelet, her signet rings, and her Arodium earrings. And while searching the internet for trivia, I found something that said that Carrie Fisher apparently said to Rian Johnson, like, every character should have jewelry. That is somehow significant to them or something like that. And that's not something I ever would have thought of before about Star Wars. But so obviously Princess Leia here, or General Leia here, is wearing jewelry. So I was looking at all the other characters trying to see did they all have jewelry, and obviously Rose Tico has the necklace, and but I noticed Poe has a necklace with his mother's wedding ring on his on a chain. and it said he hopes one day to meet a woman that he likes enough where he can give the ring to her. So I thought that was kind of an interesting. I wonder if that was as a result of Carrie Fisher's thing, or whether this is just a Pablo Hidalgo making stuff up, or what. But
Interesting.
But I didn't see Finn having any particular jewelry or anything. So
How did? Well, it's a Wikipedia question. How did? Are Poe's parents alive, or did they die? And if so, how did they die?
I know they were both involved in the rebellion, so I'm going to
Right.
guess they both died
Okay.
serving their republic somehow.
Because
no one in Star Wars ever dies from like a car accident or something. It's always
right.
It's always a result of their ideology that they're somehow. Because I know the Aftermath books, I think, deal with it. I think Poe's parents were like, and them and the Wexleys.
The Wexleys.
Of the Alderaan Wexleys.
Keth Dameron and Shara Bay.
Shara Bay.
Keth Dameron. Let's see.
That's funny. He just stole it from his mom and kept it on his necklace.
Yeah, I said I don't. Well, it doesn't say anything, I think, about it. It says, oh, Shara Bay unexpectedly died when Poe was just 8, according to this.
So it doesn't say in combat or anything. It just says unexpectedly died.
Let's see.
That seems a little vague and suspicious. I think that's like some Snoke meddling or something.
Says that she did one last mission. She died 6 years after the Battle of Endor, but it doesn't say how.
How did my mother die?
Oh. In the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker visual dictionary, it says that Shara Bay died 24 years before the Starkiller incident, which Star Wars Galactic Atlas dates to 34 ABY. Therefore, she must have died in 10 ABY, and we don't know. So,
I forget. What is the Mandalorian? Could she be theoretically on the Mandalorian?
What's that?
Could Poe's parents, in theory, be on the Mandalorian?
I think so, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
What do you think about having Oscar Isaacs play Poe Dameron's father?
Like with a mustache or something?
Yeah.
I could see that. I don't know. I like it. Because I do like it because I want them to work together. Because the Pedro Pascal and
that's
Oscar
right,
Isaac are friendly.
Yeah.
And I want to see them work together on that. So.
Apparently Rian Johnson is directing. He has not directed any Mandalorians yet.
No,
but apparently he
haven't heard anything about that.
He is going to be directing some Mandalorians.
Really?
That's what I read it on the internet, so who knows? Who knows?
It's got to be true.
It's going to be true or not. But but now since we just talked about that, he kind of made his bones on Breaking Bad. It makes perfect sense that
we'll go back and do one. Isn't he like too big for TV now?
I don't know. It's not TV. It's Disney Plus. It's that shadow zone where it's like a prestige thing for Disney Plus. It's corporate synergy in action.
I get it.
I could see how if you're a Rian Johnson, how the idea of doing a TV show would be much more, to be able to drop in and do one episode of a TV show must be like nothing after having helmed a.
Right. And not have to be the producer or anything. Just like, all right, everything's all set up. You just need to come in and direct it, kind of.
Yeah. So. Oh, right. So I was looking through the, so J. Chris Tubbs. Have we talked about him?
Yes. I forgot why. He's the pilot?
He's sort of a heavyset pilot. He's apparently played by assistant director Jay Christopher. So I can only assume he is.
He's called Tubbs because he's a little bit portly.
Yeah, it seems like a Porkins kind of thing. So I am hoping that that the assistant director took this on himself, and as opposed to them saying, "Hey, you know what? We should call him Tubbs."
Right.
But apparently,
you think he was like, "Can I be Porkins' son?" And they were like, no,
that's too.
we already have some stories in there. So, like, you can be Tubbs.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, Porkins died childless. He died before he could have any. But apparently, a lot of people mistake him for James Corden in the scene.
James
think
Corden
that James
from
Corden
Into the Woods, which Peter somebody worked on. Horsemaster, I think, worked on that. Or so.
I think they just announced some other Broadway adaptation, and James Corden is in it. And people are like, does he have to be in every single Broadway movie that comes out? I don't remember what it was.
I got to say, he's not my favorite part of the Into the Woods movie. He's not bad.
I'll go out on a limb and say I really don't care for him as a performer.
Yeah. Well,
so
you know what I do like from the Into the Woods movie?
What
is Captain Kirk singing Agony?
But yeah, I'm glad it's not. Please don't cast James Corden in a Star Wars.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So I'm glad it's not him, because then my childhood would have been destroyed. All right. So J. Chris Tubbs. Do we ever see Snoke's attendant?
No.
There's in the book they show this cool looking purple cloaked figure who is listed as Snoke's attendant from the unknown regions. And it's a cool looking character, but almost looks like a puppet. But I don't remember ever seeing them. Is this sort of like that Alu, the Imperial dignitary? I can't figure out the best way to put this out. There you go. You can see him there. It's this purple spectre type figure.
I don't recall ever seeing that.
No. So that's a cool design. Sort of not gone to waste exactly, but it just shows you the richness of the film, that something that looked as kind of cool as that is just kind of not even
tossed aside.
They didn't even tossed it aside. The deleted scene with the Luke, where Luke kind of tricks Rey into attacking the caretakers.
With the dance party or whatever.
Yeah, like. Did you ever watch the deleted scene? Be honest. I never watched it. What's the gist of it? Is that the gist of it?
I don't think he tricks her into that. She hears something that sounds like a commotion, and she runs in to help. And they're just having like a dance party, and it's like another. So I can see why they cut it, because it's another beat of like everybody stopping and looking at Rey, all the caretakers stopping and looking at Rey and being like,
right,
But
isn't Luke like
he uses it to teach her a lesson about something. But
so it's kind of
I get it. I like that it's available as a deleted scene. I like more caretakers, but I that one I understand why they cut. There are some other deleted scenes and alternate takes that I really don't get why they cut. But
that's why they have a great 2-page spread in the Visual Dictionary showing all sorts of like it's like 10 caretaker designs. Something like that. Yeah, I think we met mostly 2 in the film at all, close up. So it's just cool getting to see this whole, world that they developed, which I don't know if we'll never see again, but
maybe
possible.
Caretaker series, I'd watch it.
But I could see Octu being like a touchstone for like, we have to go back to where the Jedi started, and then
like an anthology series, but it all goes through Octu. So it's like location based, and almost like Friday the 13th, the series, where it's based around this occult shop.
Was that the premise of the show?
Yeah, it had nothing to do with Jason Voorhees.
Weird.
So like that kind of a thing. If they just have like every episode starts out, with something to do with, or somehow every episode winds its way through Octu. Or like the Man-Thing comic, where it's like somehow all these problems end up working their way through the Florida Everglades.
What's the nexus?
Yeah, Daredevil. Yeah, he works mainly in Hell's Kitchen, but sure, yeah, he's in the Everglades for some reason.
And the last thing I wanted to comment on is the Visual Dictionary has you get to see more of the prisoners on Canto Bight, who the other people in the cells. So I think at most we saw maybe their arms reaching out, like
right. Do you see the skinny guy?
There's like they show 5 different prisoners who I don't remember seeing in the film. Is the skinny guy Olivan Teeps?
Could be.
Teeps?
Because that's Ryan Johnson's uncle or nephew or cousin or something like that.
They all seem like they're older white guys, so I could definitely see it being an elderly, not elderly uncle, but but again, it's funny to, I guess, I don't know, interesting to me that they develop all these costumes and characters and stuff, and it's for,
right.
You get all excited you're going to be in a Star Wars movie, and then you're like, oh, I was kind of cut out. Remember that scene where they ran past that door? I was one of the guys in the door that they run past. You don't see him on screen or anything, but
buy me a drink. I was in a Star Wars. I'll sign the 8x10 of the wall.
I'm still waiting to see that lady stormtrooper that we saw at the...
She's around. I found her on Instagram, I think.
But I mean, you didn't see her in a movie.
Not specifically, no, but I think I know her name now. I think we can verify that she was in...
You can place her at that bar where she talked to us at Celebration.
Right.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us, when Pete and I were at I think that was the first Celebration.
No, not the first one ever, but the first one that we did.
The first one we did, yeah. And we were at one of Steele's events.
Mm-hmm.
And we were sat next to this lady, and I'm assuming she started talking to us, because we certainly never would have started talking to...
I feel like Steele might have introduced us or something.
Maybe, yeah. Anyway, so she said she was a stormtrooper, and she was going to be a lady stormtrooper in Rogue One, and,
mm-hmm.
like, whenever they needed stormtroopers from here on out, she was going to be one of the ones. And never seen I don't think I've ever seen a lady stormtrooper where, other than the voice
mm-hmm.
of a dubbed person saying, oh, come on, she's coming this way, like, I don't feel like I've seen like a lady stormtrooper.
Right.
So,
other
than Phasma, of course.
Yeah, well, of course. I will
keep an eye out for her in Solo.
Yeah, I got
Star Wars story.
Look her up.
Digital and Blu-ray.
Maybe we'll try to get in touch with her and talk to her on the show at some point for one of these other ones.
Well, that's all I got then for minute 150.
All right, we're almost done. We got 2 more minutes, 2 more episodes to go for this season. So,
if we were one of those shows doing 2 minutes at a time, we would
have been done like 3 months ago.
No, but I'm saying now we would only have one more episode.
Oh, right.
Yeah. If
we suddenly switched to doing 2 minutes at a time, but we're not like that.
Yeah.
No, we gotta do everything. So speaking of doing everything, I know we mentioned it earlier in the week, but that includes coming to you on weekends, Saturday and Sunday. We got the weekend show, Patreon, StarWarsMinute.com/Patreon will take you to our Patreon page. You can support us at different levels. We're adding and changing things sometimes. Who knows what you're going to get, but you'll at least get an episode a week, probably 2.
Probably. A levels.
And, maybe. But go support us on there. Then come back on Monday for the penultimate Star Wars Minute.